Welcome back, guys. I've got a fun one for you guys today. So I had the idea for this bacon, asparagus, lemony kind of pasta sauce, which when I dreamed it up, thought sounded really, really delicious. And what better pasta to pair it with than the most intricate, time-consuming pasta I can think of, gnocchi. I love gnocchi. Um, I've made gnocchi one other time, and yes, it was time consuming. Yes, it was difficult. I actually put it in this like beetroot sauce that was also very delicious, but I decided to go a different route today. Maybe something a little bit more summery. So, homemade gnocchi, bacon asparagus sauce. I can already tell this is going to be a long one. I already know it's going to take a super long time, so let's go ahead and get started.
Alrighty, so these are going to be our ingredients for today, minus the bacon that I forgot to include. We're going to start with this really nifty KitchenAid attachment, which actually peels produce for you. I'm just going to put the little poker on there and slide my potato right on, and it's going to do all the work for me. Now I'm just cutting up my potatoes, dicing them nice and small, the idea being that they cook a little bit faster than they would if I were to leave them whole. Once we get our potatoes all cut up, we can go ahead and throw them in our pot of boiling water along with some salt to make sure we're building flavor from within. While our potatoes are cooking, I'm going to start weighing out my flour. You're going to need about 85 grams of flour to start here. Then I'm going to add my cooked potatoes and just start whipping those together before adding an egg. Adding some garlic, a little bit of Parmesan, and then mixing that all up. At this point, I feel like I've gone as far as my KitchenAid can take me, so I start dumping my dough out onto a floured surface and decide to hand knead it until it's the consistency I want it to be. This dough is a lot wetter than it should have been, and I think the reason is that I boiled the potatoes instead of roasting them in the oven. Roasting them would have ensured that my cooked potatoes were a lot drier. When I boiled them, they absorbed a lot of water, and in retrospect, I would definitely do this differently. I think while I was kneading the dough, something about me aggressively smashing this dough on the counter scared my dog because he decided to jump into the shower with my partner. You can go ahead and add this to the long list of malfunctions in this dog's factory settings, but we wouldn't change a thing about him. We just took it as an opportunity to give both dogs a bath, to Pumpkin's dismay. After this not so brief intermission, I began actually forming my gnocchi. And after about half an hour of this, I still hadn't even made a dent, so I decided to enlist some help. Okay, flour the back of the fork, flip it over. Just run the dough down the fork like that.
Oh.
After an hour of rolling gnocchi and several more interruptions, we finally finished the job.
Ta-da!
Now that our gnocchi is fully formed, it's ready to go in our pot of boiling water and begin cooking. Similar to the ravioli, these are only going to take about 2 or 3 minutes to cook fully, and you'll know they're done when they start floating to the top. Finally, it's time for the part of the process that I've been most excited about, actually making our sauce. I'm going to cut the bottoms off the asparagus because we won't eat those. And then I'm going to also cut the tops off of the asparagus. These are going to get cooked separately in our bacon grease and are going to act as almost like a topper to our pasta along with our crispy bacon. For the middle section of the asparagus, I'm going to cut those until they're about an inch and a half in length, and then I'm going to saute those in my pan until they become tender. While my asparagus is cooking down, I'm going to throw in a little bit of butter, squeeze in some lemon juice, making sure that none of the seeds fall into the pan, some salt, some pepper, And then you guys know how I like to grate garlic instead of cutting it up because I'm lazy like that. Once it cooks down for a while and it gets nice and tender, it's going to be ready to throw in our blender. As this was blending, I threw in a little bit of heavy cream just to make sure that I got the smoothest, creamiest sauce I could possibly get. I decided to cut my bacon into small pieces and saute those down in my pan before throwing them into the air fryer to finish crisping up. Then I'm cooking the tops of my asparagus in that bacon grease just to make sure that it's taking on as much of that bacony flavor as we can get it to. Speaking of bacony flavor, I put my finished, fully blended sauce into the same pan just to soak up anything that the asparagus tops left behind. I'm also adding some more lemon juice, grating some more Parmesan cheese in, and finally it's time to introduce our pasta to her new home. Let's plate! Putting our pasta down on our plate, sprinkling those asparagus tops over that, finally our crispy bacon, and I just want to finish with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Isn't she lovely? If you guys liked today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video.
Dude, this is not working out for me.
Well, stop doing it like that. Look, turn the fork over like this. Flour, first of all, flour the back of the fork. You might want to get a new one because that one has a lot of dough caked on it. Just get a fresh fork.
That's good enough.
That one's yours.
It's a very large one.
No. Now flip the fork over. Flour the back. And flip it over like so. And then, okay, you're still not doing what I'm telling you.
How are you doing it?
Wow, that's what I'm trying to show you. Look.